We're at Liberty University talking with Ryan Helfenbein, and he is helping direct the future of students here at Liberty. He's also heading communications, but you are also involved in the Standing for Freedom Center, so you see the things happening around the world from your perspective, politically. I mean, we're watching lawfare happen against the former president, but also against the president of Israel as well, the prime minister. So what's your perspective? What do you see happening in the world?
Well, I think the weaponization of justice is absolutely despicable. It doesn't matter who is doing it, right? And there was a time where I think famously, Richard Nixon, Abraham Lincoln, there were other presidents who did this sort of thing, but not quite on this scale. Look, at the end of the day, no one benefits from this. Folks might think, if I'm of this political party or affiliation, let me punish my political enemies, reward my political allies, and at the end of the day, we win. Actually, no. There is a long tail on that thing, and the bill always comes due, and everyone owes, and that's the problem. And when you create this kind of fiat justice, it becomes a tit for tat. In the same way that we have fiat currency, right? You have inflation. Things become valued much less. Far too many dollars chasing too few goods. I learned that from you. It's the same way with the justice system. You have justice by fiat. This was a Stalin statement that was made famous. You show me the man, I'll show you the crime. That was justice under the Soviet system.
Or in Brazil with Bolsonaro.
Oh, yes.
It's happening.
That's right.
Everywhere that takes root,
right,
is the death of the society. It ends in totalitarianism.
It has,
in every case.
It has to. And why does it have to? Because power ultimately is what dominates, and it creates a vacuum. In our constitutional republic, we have law and order, the rule of law, due process, all of that. And we also allow for minority, beliefs, minority political affiliation, minority faith, all of those things. That's what a free society operates on. And so when you eliminate that, then all of a sudden you create these majorities, right? And it's almost like France's revolution, where sovereignty is only determined by 51%, and the other 49, you're out of luck.
No, that's the problem with democracy.
Yeah.
It's also the problem, it used to be that you would count on the liberal or the left position to be a little more, softer on these things. The hard right is the one that's crime and punishment and so forth, but they've turned totalitarian.
Yeah, totally. So it is the most illiberal thing you could do today is become liberal. That term was thrown around for a long time, and I think the myth behind liberalism. Look, we talked about there was an era in the United States where I think we were living on the borrowed currency of our Christian faith and our Christian heritage for far too long, and we thought, hey, this liberal society, it really works. Secularism really works, right? If you have a dominant cultural ethos, which was the residue of our Christian founding, which allowed for this freedom to perpetuate itself for a time, but we jettisoned our faith from the public square and the public arena. We now no longer have the values and the principles that were the foundation of our freedom.
That's this move from, you described to me earlier, the positive world, the neutral world, and the negative world.
Yeah. So there's an essay that's out there that's circulated for the past couple of years. There's even a book about it. Aaron Wrenn over at American Reformer's written this, and I think it's a keen insight that he made. There was a time in the United States when there was a cultural currency, if you will. To be a Christian, you were thought well of. It was good to be seen at church. There were a lot of cultural Christians who might not have actually been saved, born again.
But it was the big country club you wanted to be part of at a minimum.
Right. Chamber of Commerce Christians did exist. Country club Christians, just like country club Republicans, did exist. And then we kind of meandered as a society, and we kind of found ourselves in a neutral playing field for quite a while, where it wasn't a bad thing to be a Christian. It just wasn't quite the currency. It didn't carry the weight that it used to be a reverend or be seen in society as a preacher or a pastor, like Billy Graham was revered for so long. It now is a cultural liability. It's a political liability to go out strongly and say, I am a Christian. If you're a Christian, it's almost like saying, according to some, it's like saying I'm a dissident.